Alright, so this is my Golden Paladin Legion Stride deck. So it has a combination of, so it's a Legion deck, a Golden Paladin Legion deck with Stride. Why not, right? You got extra space in your G unit, right? To put Stride monsters, Generation Stride monsters, so might as well give you that extra boost. More power the better. Alright, so we got Fortune Bell, 4 stand triggers. We got 4 Greeting Drummer, also stand triggers. We got 4 Fortune Liberator, which are stand triggers. And we have 4 Runebao, which is also stand trigger. He has the ability of Counterblast 1, put this card into your soul, look at the top card of your deck, search for up to 1, go Paladin, call it to an open rear guard circle, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck. So, obviously he's really good. I tend to use him to reduce the chances of me not getting a stand trigger, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get them stand triggers. I want them extra attacks. So I'm already going to do attacks, and my opponent more likely is going to block. And then I want to stand, you know, once I attack with my Vanguard and get that twin drive check, you know, once I have my grade 3. And then stand, at least my, you know, front rear guards, stand both of them, get 2 little stand triggers, stand them and then attack with them. So I can get 2 extra attacks after I already did 3 attacks. So I can get 5 attacks, which is my main strategy. So that's what I want to do in pretty much every one of my decks, is stand and attack, right? And I got for grade 1s, I got Halo Liberator Mark. I chose a lot of the cards that have Liberator because I wanted to take advantage of some of the Liberator aspect. Normally this would have just been regular Mark, but I wanted some more Liberators. So Halo Liberator Mark, obviously it's a perfect guard. You play it in your guard circle, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your Golden Paladins as being attacked. Obviously you'll typically use this for your Vanguard, and it cannot be attacked and hit by that particular battle. So if your opponent attacks, use this to block that attack, and then you're good. But of course they can attack with other creatures they have. Moving on along. Another grade 1. This is for boosting. Deathly Silent Liberator Curdle. Counterblast 1. This unit gets 1,000 until the end of turn. You know, so you can make it an 8K. Normally I will use Garoth because he's just a solid 8K Valena, but I wanted something with Liberator in its name, so I'm using this and this one instead. For 1 Counterblast, it's 8K. If I'm right, it's been a while. I could probably use the effect more than once. I could make it, you know, a 10K booster. Moving along, Little Liberator Marin, just another booster, but this is a potential 10K booster, so it's more power the better. I'm trying to create a lot of power because I'm trying to punch through any quintet walls, through any you know, little guards or intercepts. So I'm trying to create big numbers like 20K plus, you know what I mean, and trying to punch through whatever my opponent tries to throw at me. So when this unit attacks, and while it's in the rear guard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Liberator in its card name, this unit gets 3,000. So if you're not using this as a booster, you use it as a actual rear guard for attacking your front rear guard circle. You attack with this, give it a boost, maybe with a Marin or something, and you could potentially deal 7K worth of damage. Or you can use, you know, Deathly Silent Liberator to give some extra boost. You know, maybe counterblast 3, so that way he'd be 10, so that way right there you got 20. If you counterblast one more, that's 21k. You get the idea. You can deal a good amount of damage as long as you're hitting the Vanguard with your opponent's Vanguard with this. Invitation Liberator Rude. Counterblast 1. Put this unit into your soul when an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle. This unit boosted. You may pay the cost. If you do, look at the 3 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 card from among them and call it to an open rearguard circle and put the rest of them back on the bottom of your deck in any order. Obviously, this is useful if you don't have enough boosters, right? You attack with one rear guard, front rear guard, boost it with Invitation Liberator to give it that boost, right? When that attack hits your opponent's Vanguard, so actually deals damage, then you can counterblast 1, put this into the soul to grab. So look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Grab a card from there, and put it into one of your open rearguard circles, and put it behind your second rearguard circle, so that way you can boost that rear guard, so it can give so that way you can have a boost and be able to attack. So it's a good way for one card to help you boost an attack, right? Because you're boosting your attack, you deal damage, you can counterblast and get another creature to boost, so you can attack your opponent with a boosted creature. So that's important to get 1 more damage. But it could also bring out a creature. Let's say you have an open rear guard circle, like front rear guard circle, right, where you have nothing there, and then you use this ability, and then you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you have a grade 3. You know what I mean? Then you summon the grade 3 into that open rearguard circle, especially, when you have a grade 3 already on your side of the field as your Vanguard. Put that grade 3 into your rearguard circle, and now you have a nice little grade 3 to swing with. Especially the grade 3s we have access to are Bluish Flame Liberator Percival, he's 11k. And you got Bluish Flame Liberator Prominence Core, which is also 11k. So nice little free 11k attacker. It's not a bad thing. Alright, so that's grades 1s. Now it's time for the grade 2s. So we got Liberator of Royalty Paladin. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Liberator in its card name, this unit gets 3k until the end of that battle. As you can see, this effect along with the other effect and the other effect requires Liberators, so that's why I wanted to put a couple more Liberators in here, so that way I can get these effects. So if I have a Liberator Royalty Paladin in the Vanguard circle, and then I play a second one in a rear guard circle, I'll be able to get the ability of gaining that extra 3k when this unit attacks, which is important. You play multiple copies of these creatures, boom, you get that boost. And to have a nice little 12k rear guard, which is very, very useful, which was an important thing, is that I wanted a 12k rear guard, so that way when I throw a 8k or higher booster, right, to boost, I would easily deal 20k plus towards my opponent's Vanguard. So either he has to block with something pretty high, like a Quinta or whatnot. I increase my chances of punching through his guards, or just make him waste his defensive cards, his quinta walls or his perfect guard, and just be able to punch through. Typically your opponent will probably let these attacks go through and just guard your Vanguard, but they're letting you attack through. That's even better. The whole idea was to get the attack to go through in the first place, but if they block it, that's all good either way. But by not blocking it, they're taking damage. Then you attack with your Vanguard. They do block it, don't matter. I'm gonna get the twin drive, get some stand triggers, you know what I mean? Stand Paladin again, and attack with it. So I'm still gonna be dealing at least 2 damage. So again, it depends. You never know what happens. But forcing your opponent to second guess or misplay because you're throwing something strong at them is beneficial. I have attacked somebody with one of my rear guards and it was pretty strong, and they blocked with a perfect guard because my Vanguard wasn't going to attack for a lot of damage, but strategically, the idea was that I was going to use the twin drive so I can stand and attack with the rear guard, which did happen, and of course I dealt a good amount of damage that turn. Let's see, this is Oath Liberator Aglovale. Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed in the rear guard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Liberator in this card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the 3 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 card with Liberator in its card name. From among them, call it to an open rear guard circle, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Obviously, this is good to help you fill up your rear guards, because you might not want to use cards from your hand to fill up the rear guard circle so you can boost an attack. So obviously the ability to grab straight from your deck and from the top of your deck and put into your Vanguard circles and fill up your field, it's a very useful, important effect, just as good as drawing, right? And the ability to quickly fill up your field and whatnot just by using a couple counterblasts gives you the advantage, because you can attack and still be able to defend, which are very important things to be able to do. Of course, this is one part of the Legion. So let's move on. Now we have Bluish Flame Liberator Percival. He's your grade 3. He has the Legion effect, where you can grab Oath Liberator, Aglovale, and Legion. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit may return 4 cards from your drop zone into your deck once. Search your deck for the specific card, and Legion, which is Oath Liberator, Aglovale. So that's how you Legion, obviously, right? Then has an auto effect. When this unit Legions, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 card with Liberator in its card name. From among them, call it to an open rear guard circle, and put the rest of them on the bottom of your deck in any order. Obviously, more ways of filling up your rear guard circle, which is very useful if your opponent had the advantage, and then you summon Legion and be able to fill up your side of the field with some good monsters to fight back with. It's a great comeback, right? Makes you feel like a main character from the series, right? And then has an auto effect. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets 2,000 until the end of that battle. So it's pretty good. Right off the bat, it'll become a 13k attacker without a boost. When you're Legion, it'll be a 20k, and then it gets the extra 2k, so it'll be a 22k without a boost. But then you give it a boost, obviously it deals more. It could be a 30k if you give it an 8k booster, so it'll be 30k going to your opponent's Vanguard, which could potentially punch through a quinta wall anyway, which is stuff you want to do, obviously. But your opponent probably perfect guard that, probably. Unless they have quinta wall, then you probably punch through that anyway. And then of course you get your twin drive. Then we got Bluish Flame Liberator Prominence Core. It's your other grade 3. Also legions with Oath Liberator Agloveil. So you have 2 options of legion. When your unit with the same card name as a unit on your Vanguard circle is placed on a rearguard circle from your deck, if this unit from your deck, placed on rearguard circle from your deck, if this unit is legion, this unit gets 3k and an extra crit until end of turn. Alright, this is useful if you have him. That effect is useful if you have him, right? And then you legion, of course, you brought out Oath Liberator Agloveil, and you use, and then you use an where's that effect at? Yeah, you use his Imitation Liberator's effect. You know, and you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you find another Oath Liberator Agloveil, then you summon it to the into a rearguard circle, and then you have triggered this effect because he is in the Vanguard circle because he's legion, and be able to trigger the effect. And then this will get 3k extra boost power, so it'll be a 23k and an extra crit, so it'll do 2 damage when its attack does hit, of course. Your opponent can, you know, try to block that, obviously, to prevent that. But it's a good way of getting 2 extra damage, so that's a pretty good little scenario where you can potentially make this Vanguard deal more damage so you can win from 1 shot, right? Then his last effect is Counterblast 1. Choose one of your rear guards and retire. Look at 4 cards from the top of your decks. Search for up to 1 card with Liberator and its card name from among them. Call it to a rear guard circle and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can only use that ability once for the rest of the turn. Obviously, you could also use this part of his effect to trigger his other effect. So, you gotta love that. The ability to constantly, you know, fill up your field without using your hand. It's part of what this deck does, right? And then we got 2 Light Fighter Kron. When another golden paladin rides this unit, you may call this card to the rearguard circle. So that's the front runner ability. I mean forerunner ability. Then active ability in the rearguard circle, Counterblast 1. Put this card into your unit. Put this unit into your soul. Look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 grade 3 or greater golden paladin from among them. Reveal it to your opponent and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. This is how I get my extra grade 3. In case I went into my grade 3, especially if I grade 3 legion, because of course you start the game off with, you know, grade 0, which will be your little fighter Kron. And then when you summon your size, you summon a size 1 or something. I mean grade 1, he goes into the rearguard circle, so you can use them for boosting. But you can also, you know, use his effect later on. Sometimes you might get grade lock. You can trigger his effect to try to help you get into your grade, you know, help you get your grade 3. So that's another thing it does. Plus it is also useful for, again, like if you do get after you already summon your grade 3, and in this scenario your grade 3 and then your legion, that thins out your deck. That takes out, you know, your grade 2, but you know you'll get 4 cards back in the deck, of course. Won't thin out your deck that much. But once that happens, you shuffle, blah blah blah. You trigger this effect. Look at the top 3, and top 5, and you'll probably notice that there wasn't that many triggers, and you want a lot of triggers, you know, because you want to get at least 2 stand triggers when you attack. Then you know, grab whatever grade 3 is available there. Hopefully there's 1. Add it to your hand. Shuffle the rest back into the deck. Shuffle your deck, and then proceed into battle. Attack with your your front rear guards first, boost them, do some damage hopefully. Then attack with your Vanguard. You expect it to get your Vanguard to get blocked, but if not, that's even better. That just hurts your opponent even more. But if he does block it, that's alright. You're just trying to trigger the twin drive ability. And hopefully you trigger 2 stand triggers and stand your rear guards, and then attack with them. Moving on, now we get to our G units. Here we know how to G stride. To make the cost of summoning these G units, of course, that's why we got 2 types of grade 3s, so that's 8 grade 3s, so you increase the chances of discarding only 1 card in order to G stride, which comes in handy if you're trying to do combos. If you're trying to do something, if you're trying to G stride every turn, you want to use the grade 3s to do so. Then discarding a 3 grade 1s, or 1 grade 1 and a grade 2, you rather just discard 1 card and G stride. So this is Fast Chase Golden Knight Campbell. Auto ability when it's in the Vanguard circle. When this unit attacks, hits a Vanguard, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 card from among them. Call it to a rear guard circle. Shuffle your deck, and that unit gets 2,000 plus 2,000 power until the end of the turn. Again, more summoning, getting more monsters on the field to derp, especially after you discarded 1 card to summon this. You obviously want to, you want to re-up, you want to get back what you lost, so you can summon something call something into your rear guard circle from the top of your deck by triggering this effect. And the good thing is, all this has to do is hit, which is gonna probably do unless your opponent guards. It's probably gonna hit. But one of the things that's good about this deck is that since this deck attacks a lot of your opponent's perfect guards, like since they're only allowed 4, sentinel cards, that the chances of perfectly guarding are reduced because they only have up to 4 cards in their whole entire deck that could guard perfectly against this. So they're going to be stuck with a lot of their triggers and grade 1s and grade 2s and stuff, trying to guard with a little bit, and you're dealing, your attack swinging with big heavy numbers. Eventually they're going to run out of resource, run out of the ability to protect properly, and you're going to overrun them and take them down, which is the idea. You just want to relentlessly attack your opponents with so much power that they can't defend. Then this is Golden Dragon Spear Cross Dragon. Counterblast 2. Choose a face down card with named Golden Dragon Spear Cross Dragon from the G zone and turn the face up. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, if the number of face up cards in your G zone is 1 or more, you may pay this cost. If you do, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to 1 card from among them for each face up card in your G zone, and call them to separate open rear guard circles and shuffle your deck. Obviously this is a really great card. This is good in case your opponent somehow wiped out your rear guards. You can pretty much refill your rear guard circle. The only issue is that in order to trigger this effect, you have to have already a face down Golden Dragon Spear Cross Dragon, which right off the bat you're probably not going to by the time you get to the point of summoning one. It's your first one. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna summon it, and then you're gonna end your turn, after you attack and whatnot. End your turn, it'll go face down to your G zone. Then in your next turn, if there is a next turn, you will be able to trigger the effect. So it would have to be in a scenario like that where you just manage to do this, get this little quick power boost, deal a lot of damage, and then it goes face down during the end phase. And then the following turn, in case your opponent wipes out your field, you can come back, G stride into your second copy of Golden Dragon, Spirit Cross Dragon, and then trigger the effect and go off and fill up your field and make a comeback. So that's why there's obviously 2 copies, so you can trigger that effect. Maybe someday, I don't know if they already have it, but I didn't check every card in Vanguard to see if there was an effect that can give you the ability to put a G unit card face down. Because if so, then that would be useful, because then you could put one of your Golden Dragon Spirit Cross face downs deliberately, and then when you end up in the situation where you need the effect to trigger and to refill your field, you already have one face down to trigger, and then you can go from there, which in turn makes a loop, because after you use one by flipping the other one face up and filling up your field and whatnot, when you end your turn, that one you just used will go face down into the G zone. That way when you do G stride again, you G stride the one that's face up and then trigger the effect, and the one that's face down, you flip it up, and then it loops. It just drawing that your golden dragon Spirit Cross Dragon doesn't start off face down, for example. It starts off face up, then it goes face down after being used. But maybe an effect will be added to let you put face down or face up G unit strides. Mainly put face down, since there are some of these monsters do have the ability to put G unit monsters face up. This is Miracle Element Atmos. Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets 10k until end of battle, which is great. It automatically is a 25k sorry, for 1 counterblast. It's already 25k. That's pretty good. Just that alone could punch through a couple of defenses. But with boosts and since it has triple drive, so you triple drive check. You do your triple drive check, probably get some boost. Boost up your creatures and attack. Get your attack through. Gotta love that. Another option to play with is Snow Element Blizzard. Got 2 copies of it. Counterblast 1 and choose a face down card from your G zone. Turn it face up. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets 5k for each face up card in your G zone until the end of that battle. So let's say you only have 1 face down. Then you use this to flip it up. Since you'll have 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, you have 7. You'll pretty much have 7 face up now in your G zone, just as a starter. So that's 7 times 500. 7 times 5. 30. It's 35. It's 35,000. So it will make it a 50,000 attacker. So it'd be a 50,000 attacker, plus any boost you gave to Snow Element Blizzard. So it's pretty strong. Your opponent's gonna want to use a perfect guard against that, because the Quintuple probably won't be enough to stop a 50k plus attack. And then you get triple drive, and you get some stand, you get some boosts. You know what I mean? You can go up to 65k if you give all 5k of the 3 stand triggers to him. You can go up to like 65k. So pretty massive power, which is what you want. And that's the end of the deck profile.